guys, Mrs. Talk Techie here, and the reason why I'm laughing is because I just spent a good part of last night, early this morning, doing this whole video tutorial, which I decided to scrap because before you knew it, I was already going into 45-50 minutes of it, and I thought nobody's going to listen to me for that long. So instead, I scrapped it, and I'm starting fresh and new, and I'm going to try to get to the meat of it. And the whole thing is Google Photos and how do you take this conventional app and use it in an unconventional manner. Basically use it to facilitate teaching and learning in our classrooms and remote learning as well. Okay, guys? So let's do this. I apologize in advance if I go fast, but please always feel free to contact me. Comment below. I always respond. And if I go too fast, I'm sorry in advance. So some logistics, guys. First of all, photos.google.com can be accessed on your web browser when you log into your Gmail account, to your Google account. So you can access it. If you go to the little waffle, you can search for it and you'll find your photos there. Or I also recommend downloading the app, and it works both on iOS. So if you have an iPad, especially a school-issued iPad, download the app, sync it to your Gmail account, your school Gmail account, and you're done. And it's going to back up and sync every time you take an image. Now, with that said, always keep your personal and your Gmail photo and your school photos separate and apart, guys, just to be on the safe side. You never know. That's just a little, FYI. Good to know. So with that said, guys, let's get into it. I hope I'm not going too fast. Of course, remember, you can always ask questions and I will answer. So these are the 5 things that I came across and thought of different and innovative ways that we can use them to facilitate us as teachers and to support and enhance our student learning. The first one is just basic photos. The fact that it syncs and backs up all your photos. And then the features that it has for those photos, the sharing settings. I'm going to show you how I use that to create innovative ways to share out information to teachers, to parents. Albums. Albums are really straightforward. You gather some pictures, you make a collection of pictures, and it creates an album. Well, how can that be innovative in a way that it's going to facilitate my teacher productivity, my students' learning? In addition, a movie. You want to make a quick, fast movie. Click a couple of pictures and put it into a movie. This makes it for you, and so easy, guys. And then, of course, the sharing settings. The fact that you can share it so easily and seamlessly across anyone else who uses Google and who doesn't use Google. A collage. We all know how to create collages. We all know how they're done. But how can I use it in an innovative way that's going to enhance student learning? So I have a couple of tips and tricks on that. And finally, it has an animation tool. So basically you can create a GIF, but how can I take that and make it like an actual way of learning, right? An actual tool that's going to directly impact my instruction. So those are the things we're going to do. Let's get started with just a plain photo. What can I do with a plain photo? So here I am on photos.google.com, my school email, my school Gmail. And just to show you a little bit, going to navigate through it just really quick. On your left-hand side, if you're accessing it through the web browser, you have your photos, your albums for you. That's basically what I like to call your creativity hub. That's where you start creating those movies, those collages, those animations. The sharing, if you want to add people to collaborate with you, and of course the print store. So I'm going to kind of show you all of those in a bit, but one thing I did want to mention is if you download the app, whether it be iOS on your iPad or Android on a Kindle or anything like that, they basically work seamlessly. There's not really adjusting to one or the other. If you get on the web, the only difference is the toolbar is on your left-hand side. If you get on your iPad, the toolbar is at the bottom. That's it. That's really the only and biggest difference. So I love that, the ease of use between app and web browsers. So moving on. Here I'm under the photos. So you get to see all the photos I have that I've taken, and they're really random, right? Some of them are actual screenshots of some worksheets that I created. Some of them are screenshots of a presentation, and they were doing something, and I said, hey, I need that. So all kinds of random screenshots and things like that. So before I actually get started with the photos, I know I'm jumping around, but I didn't really add something for this, but I did want to show you the print store. Let's talk about the print store just really quick. If I have this image here that I created on my iPad, it's an anchor chart that I made because I couldn't find one at my local teacher store, and I couldn't find one that I really liked that was really tailored to meet the needs and instruction of my classroom, of my content. So I made this on using paper 53. I drew it out, and then I can actually, since it backs up and syncs and I saved it, I can actually go here, go to the print shop and print it out poster size and get it shipped either to me or to my school. But that's the beauty about it, especially if you don't have a poster maker available at your school. You can get these anchor charts made, and they're tailored instructional resources. So I absolutely love that. So just keep that in mind. That was your print store. So going back to just photos. Just photos. If I have an image on here, guys, the one thing I want you to know is that image is going to have a link, okay? And if you have a link, guess what you can do with that link? You can make a QR code. So I want to show you really quick how we can make a simple, quick QR code. I'm going to scroll through this and find something that maybe, for instance, this. I want to send this out to the parents, right? I want to send this out to my parents for them to kind of practice. I know that's a lot. This was actually sent to me during remote learning, and I had to do a lot of Googling because I had no idea what they meant by reflexive pronouns. But I figured it out. So anyways, just to show you an example, if I have this and I want to send it out, I can just go to this share button up here. And then I can literally share it out to some of my contacts, or I can create a link. And so it created the link right there, real simple, easy. I'm going to copy that link, and I'm working off my laptop, but you can easily do this off your iPad as well. It works the same way. So now I'm going to open up a tab, and this one's called the QR code generator. And I love this one because it's real simple, easy, straightforward to use. And where I'm at is under generate, and then I clicked on URL, and now because it's copied to my clipboard, I can just Control V, paste it, and that is that QR code that I just created right now. So it'll link you to that image, which is this one right here. So if you want to put pause and test me, go ahead and put pause, scan it, try it out, and you'll see that it is, and it's so easy to use. Another tip, this website also allows you to scan QR codes. So if you're working off Chromebooks with your kiddos and you give them a QR code, you can easily go to this scan and it'll open up the webcam. If you give it, whoa, I'm really close. If you give it those features, those settings, and you can scan those QR codes as well. So super easy. I want to show you really quick one of the codes that I created using that. And that's how it would, I'm going to try. There you go. And so if I click on that code, it's going to take me to that photo. So super easy, guys. I hope you guys like that one. Let's move on to albums. So albums are a really simple, traditional way of putting pictures together and making a collection. So let's say you had an important event or you had a Saturday camp and you went around taking pictures, and you can make an album of that camp. Well, what else can you do with traditionally using albums or creating albums? Let's talk about that. How about using albums to progress monitor specific students? So if you have certain students that you need to be progress monitoring with their work, may it be like your MOI, which is your boy, your beginning of year, your MOI, your OI, your end of year, you can start creating an album where you name it, that's my son, you name that album under the child's name, but every time you take a picture of their work, you add it to that album. Now, how would that facilitate me as a teacher? Well, think about ARDS, parent conferences, team conferences, anytime you have to meet and you need to show some of their work and how they're progressing, then instead of going and saying, gosh, I need to go back into the classroom to get his science journal and his math journal and his reading binder and so on and so forth, instead, you've already taken some of those crucial benchmark pictures of his work or her work, and all you have to do is open up your laptop, open up your iPad, and go to this album and show it. And so you've been able to showcase their work without having to lug around all this extra baggage, right? All these extra binders. What else does it have to offer? Okay, let me show you. I'm going to go to my album of Abram, of my son, and I want you guys to see some of the neat features that it also has to offer. So I'm here in Abram's album, and this is some of his work, right? And so what you notice is some of them have little comments made. Well, I've added those comments as I've taken pictures of his work. So here's a picture of his work, and I can look at the comment here. It says, given organizational charts, allow him to put his ideas together and complete his assignment a lot more efficiently. So those are just notes to help showcase as he's progressing throughout the year. Now, what else do I love about this is that I can actually add a collaborator here. I can add someone. So I can type in a fellow teacher. I can even type in if the parent has an account. I can type them in and they can see as they're creating, and we can form that open line of communication. Now, if this child has an inclusion support teacher, I can add them to this one as well. So there's just a lot of ways. Now, I can go up here and click on the comments, and we can be interacting. Myself, the parent, the inclusion teacher, anyone that needs to be involved. And this would be a live chat of the work. And I can communicate to the parent and say, he did this assignment, he struggled with this, so maybe you can work on it. Or he excelled in this, or he's really good at science, he's excelling in it, but he needs a little more work on his, penmanship. Those are just examples, guys. So I absolutely love this feature, and think about making it innovative and always having that handy at a mobile device. I can always take it with me to any meeting, and I'll be able to show his work and his progress. So what did you guys think about that? Super neat, super easy to use, right, guys? And I love the fact that we can send messages and we can communicate and have that open line of communication. Google Photos has a movie feature on it, a tool. The one thing I did come across is that when trying to create a movie on the web browser, I couldn't do it. I couldn't create a movie through the web browser. But as soon as I got on my app, it allowed me to create a new movie. So that was super simple and easy. And what I did love about it is that it is so simple, but it gives you enough editing tools and features to be able to edit the movie like you want it, but not become overwhelmed with all these new tools and features that you don't know when it comes to movie editing. So that's what I loved. So I'm going to show you really quick. I did a quick screen recording of it, and I'll kind of walk you through it. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. So you're going to go to the For You, click on Movie, and you have that option, New Movie. Then you can go and scroll through all the images that you want. You can actually create a new movie off of an album as well. But I went here and I clicked on a couple of images from one of our school tech PD sessions, and I just wanted to highlight a couple of moments. I also clicked on some images, some that were videos. So you can also include still images and videos as well. Once you click and you save, it'll start working, and here it is. And it actually added some music for me as well, but I can edit the music. As you notice, it has a little toolbar, especially for the video. You get to trim it. You can show the entire video or bits and pieces that you liked from that video. So I love that. In addition to that, you can add more photos and videos if you want to lengthen it, or you can remove them if you want to shorten it. You can mess with how long the still image will be on there. In addition, the music, you can go to theme music and kind of customize and tailor it to what fitting the movie that you're creating. So I like the opening night one. I don't know, it just seems kind of fun and upbeat. And then all you have to do is click on save once you're done. And it's going to work on it. It's going to make it for you. And then after that, you can share it out, guys, or you can save it to your device. One thing I didn't mention, if you do want to add a little bit more customization to your movie, you can get on an app, whether it be your notes app or a drawing app or something where you type on a Google slide or something and write the title of your movie. So you can title it and date it, save that as an image, whether you take a screenshot of it or you use the snipping tool, but you save it and it's added as an image into your photos, and then you move that one up to be the first one to be shown, and now you have a title to your movie. So just a little tip and trick that we could use just to add a little bit of customization. Moving on, guys, to collage. Okay, now a lot of times we use collages to showcase a student work or a certain event. Let's say we had a Saturday camp and we just kind of want to showcase a couple of cool and highlight some events of the day. Well, what about using collages to actually teach, right? For student learning. So I'm here on my regular photos, and a lot of these photos I save from the internet and I use for my keynote presentations or my slides, especially when I'm collaborating with colleagues. And so they're always here and they're always available. I don't have to take them to another app to create a collage. I can easily create one here. So I'm going to show you really quick how to create one. So you just click on these right here. So I'm just clicking on 4 images, and then I'm going to go to the top right corner, and it's very similar on the app. And I'm going to click on collage, and it's going to create it for me. So now that it's created it for me, I can actually make it into a QR code, or I can take it into a presentation, or I can even put it in my Google Classroom and pose a question. That's the how. That's the application part of it. This is just facilitating teacher productivity, making things faster, cutting a couple of steps. So let me show you how I would present it to my kids and what kind of activity I would use. So this activity I actually gathered from Lead Forward, which is an educational organization company that helps with both pedagogy and content. And so this is one of the neat ideas and activities that they use, and I'm sure that they gathered it from somewhere else, but I really, really liked it, and it's called Odd Man Out. And so you use collages, and you ask the kids. I can post this on Google Classroom, and then my question would be, which one is the odd man out here? Which one doesn't belong and why? Justify your answer. So think about the level of questioning here and the amount of background knowledge that the kids need to know. These are images having to do with the Industrial Revolution, just to kind of give you an idea of how it would be implemented in the classroom. This is the Industrial Revolution. We've got the McCormick Reaper, the cotton gin, the steel plow, and the telegraph. So the kids can start thinking, well, they're all inventions, they're all innovations, so those all belong together, right? And then they can start really getting into it and know and realize, hey, well, these 3 actually have to do with the South. These are Southern innovations. They also increase productivity, right? Production of cutting crops, of cleaning cotton, of plowing fields, right? Versus the telegraph is more about increasing communication, instantaneous communication. So that's how they would go about answering this kind of question. So see how easy it is that you can make an activity using a pic collage, and always thinking of those higher order thinking skills that are required. So it'll be fun, but yet still getting that content knowledge that the kids need across to them. You can put this in Google Classroom. You can pose it as an assignment. You can add it as a quiz, right? As a quiz assignment where they have to fill in, typing it out as a paragraph. So this is just one way I would go about using the collage, aside from, putting a collage of student photos and sharing those out. All right. So let's move on to our last one. So the last one I'm going to talk about is the animation one. It has this tool in Google Photos to create animations. And for the most part, you're talking about creating GIFs. But let's think outside of the box. What else can we do aside from just creating a GIF? Like, that's cool, right? We can have our kids posing and doing cool, neat things. But what about to enhance our teaching and learning? And I thought, and I challenged myself because I am not a math person, but I tried really hard, and I'm not going to pretend like I know exactly what I'm doing here, but I know that you guys, you math teachers teach this, and I know that the kids struggle with this because I still don't even know exactly how it works, but let me show you. So here I am in my photos, and I just took a couple of these photos here, and this is for math, and I'm showing math transformations. I Googled that. I hope I got it right. And so I want to create a stop motion video for my animation one to showcase to the kids so that they can literally see how you do a transformation of this polygon. Did I do that right? I hope so, guys. Please correct me. I won't be able to fix it, but at least we can put it in the description below. So, very simple. All we're going to do is we're going to click on all the ones we want. And what I did is I put my iPad on top of a little stand. And then I put this paper and I took a picture and then I moved it a bit. Took another picture, moved it a little bit, and did several of them. I didn't get too crazy and do a lot of them, but I just wanted to showcase what we can do with this. So I clicked on all my images. Now I'm going to go to the plus sign. And I'm going to click on animation. So it's creating my animation, and I'm going to absolutely love this. I hope it works out. So there we have our animation, guys. And so we can show this animation of this transformation to our kids, and we can send it on Google Classroom and have the kids guess what it is, right? Or answer correctly what it is and tell us why, right? Or once we're in the classroom, right, back into the classroom, we can have the kids do this as well and tell them, I want you to, and I have my notes here, I want you to show me a translation, a reflection, a rotation of these polygons. So you can have them do this, and it would be so fun for them to actually experience it and do it firsthand. So what do you guys think about this? Isn't this neat? I could see myself doing this in the social studies classroom with the transatlantic slave trade. Are there any ways you guys can see this in the ELA or in the reading classroom? I would absolutely love to hear some ideas that you guys have. All right, guys, that is it for today. Before I sign off here, I do want to tell you one thing. I do appreciate you taking the time to watch my videos, just like I'm sure you appreciate me taking the time to create them. My 4 boys are waiting for me right now, and I can't wait to spend some time with them. But I do love what I do. So please give me a shout out. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you want to hear. I'm always willing to help. And that's the whole thing about what we do. And it's everything about teaching is about learning and growing from each other. And I love you guys. Thank you so much. And we'll see you later. I hope you liked it.